Hi, my name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about something that Judge Rata said that left us a bit confused. I just want to tell you my 2 cents opinion when it comes to that because we were confused. I do not want to lie. Judge Rata said he spoke about unattacked confessions. Ne? Now, one thing that you can see when it comes to those unattacked confessions, they can either make the state case or destroy it. That's what you can see or you can find when you are listening to those confessions or when you read them. All right. There is a dangerous misunderstanding happening right now when it comes to what he said. People are hearing the words unattacked confessions and they think the case is over. They think that's proof enough. They think that's truth. But what if the situation is an unattacked confession can still be completely unreliable, and in this case, possibly contradict itself because they are contradicting themselves, by the way. Their confessions are not aligned, guys, with what is being said in court, with the statements of the eyewitnesses. That's where the problem starts to begin with. And now, going to the confessions themselves, is another thing, how they were taken in front of the magistrate, but we're going to go through that at a later stage. But today we are expecting what we are expecting because we are not asking whether the confession was admitted. We are asking whether it was true. That is the bottom line of it all. And now, in the first things first, what unattacked really means, my understanding, I could be wrong. I'm not the judge, but this is what I could think Judge Rata meant. Let's slow that down so that we understand. Okay. When the court said a confession is unattacked, it does not mean it is correct, it is accurate, it proves guilt. No, that's not what it means. It may mean two things, what Judge Rata was saying there, né? Because we're not in his head, so we are speculating. The confession, this is the first thing that it may mean. The defense has not successfully proven that it was forced or obtained or improperly obtained. That's it. That's what it may mean on the side of the defense. And now it may also mean that the state has not yet proven that these confessions were not coerced, were freely taken, and there are no potholes towards taking them, and there are no issues surrounding how they were taken. It may mean also that. Do you understand? I'll explain later on. And all of that, it comes from legal framework under Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977, specifically Section 217. If a confession is made in front of a magistrate, that law presumes it was made voluntarily because you were in court and there was a magistrate and the right procedure was followed. That's what it normally is, okay, or done. That's the key word, presumes, ne? Not proves, not guarantees, not confirms, just presumes it was done according to the procedure, the correct procedure. All right. Secondly, the trap admissibility versus truth name. Here is where everything changes. There are two completely different stages in the admissibility. Can the confession be allowed into the courtroom? Can it be? When it's allowed, does that mean it's not going to be taken out? There's a lot. So Judge Rata specifically told us it's a ruling, meaning, okay, let's hear what's inside, because right now it doesn't look like. So I think for me, Judge Rata accepted those confessions inside because there was no, for him, because he wants clarity on certain things. There was, yes, he heard about Moses Donton and the torturing and everything, but he still got curious. I wanna believe that so. And also the second thing was that weight or truth, should the court believe it? Okay. And if this is where and this is where most people get it wrong, because just because something is admitted does not mean it is true. Even an unattacked confession must still pass 3 tests. Was it voluntarily? Is it reliable? And most importantly, is it true? Now, when you listen, when they read the confessions and try to corroborate with eyewitness people, eyewitnesses that their statements and those that they came inside the court, there's no alignment there. Absolutely none. Now, that last one, that's where the case starts shaking. Is it true, this confession? Because now when you are trying to align it with Zandile, Togo, and Tumelo, it's not aligning. Then when you go through their entire statements, it's not aligning. Okay? Point number 3, now the big problem, 2 confessions. Now let's go and like check that out. Like, so let's go nuclear on that, because what the heck? What we are not dealing with we are not dealing with one confession. We are dealing with multiple confessions. And here's the problem with that. If one confession says one thing and another confession says something else, they cannot both be true. Now, Undanzi alone has 2 confessions. They are saying similar things but differently, and their difference is very problematic, very, very problematic. And once a confession says one thing, at least one wrong thing, possibly both are unreliable. And once that happens, the court is faced with serious legal danger there. Danger. The court is faced with serious legal danger. You cannot convict based on conflicting versions of the truth. Now, point number 4, the court cannot fix a confession, even if Judge Rata can try. Just like today, we are waiting because we want to hear what's going to happen. He can't do that, but Suzobon. Now, this is critical. A court is not allowed to guess what the accused meant, filling in missing gaps, interpret unclear statements in favor of the state. If a confession says, I was with the person, the court cannot decide he actually meant someone else. No, they can't do that. The law is clear. The confession must stand on its own wording. And if that wording is unclear, contradictory, inconsistent with other evidence, then the court must do one thing: reject it or treat it with extreme caution. When it comes to this one now, there is no treating it with extreme caution, because the confessions are collapsing with their wording. They are. Now, this is point number 5. This is why unattacked is not enough. So when you hear the confession was not attacked, understand what that really means. It survived stage 1, which is admissibility. But it still has to survive stage 2, the truth. And if it contradicts another confession, it doesn't align with objective evidence, it raises more questions than answers, then it stops being proof. It stops being proof. It becomes a liability for the state. And that is what it is, liability. These confessions, the so-called confessions, are liability to the state, whether they accept that or not, but that's the truth. Now, so the real question is, was the confession admitted because it was really true, or it was admitted because Judge Rata was curious by what was inside the contents of the confession? Can Judge Rata now trust the confession now that he heard everything that is inside? Can he? Can the court trust it? Because in law, a confession is not powerful because it exists. It is powerful only if it is true. And right now, that truth is exactly what is under pressure. So, sizobona ke ukuthi kuzoyenzekalani once Baloyi gets to the confessions, if Baloyi is going to get to the confessions. We are going to see that. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. As long as you understand that unattacked confession must not be misunderstood. No, it must not be misunderstood and be said to be something that it is not. Yep, it must not. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Let's talk in the comment section. I'll see you on our next video and our lives. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.